Shakur Stevenson just did an interview with the Zone Boxing on their YouTube channel. Y'all can go check that out. But in the interview, he made some comments about Gervonta Davis. And the first one I'm going to touch on is one of the biggest lies that we have going on in the sport of boxing at the moment.
A lot of people were saying that he was getting hit a little too much. There was exchanges where Garcia landed a lot of shots. Is that normal, though, for you? Does Tank get hit as much as he did this past Saturday?
Yeah, he don't care about getting hit. He don't care. Like, he don't have no concern. I think he, like, in his brain, he feel like he could take anybody's punch, and so far it's been holding up. So,
do you think he should do that? Do you think it's safe to do that against Ryan Garcia?
I mean, no, I don't think so. I think that Ryan is a good puncher, but I doubt that he's going to just walk forward and take any punches against Ryan Garcia. I think he's a smart fighter and he's going to adjust.
Now, I'm not disagreeing with Shakur on this part. Tank will test his opponent's power and see what they got. But this narrative in boxing that Gervonta Davis gets hit so much in all of his fights is false. You hear Ryan Garcia say it. You hear all these trainers say it. You hear all these type of guys say it. But when you look at the facts, it's just not true. And when you look at the facts, Tank is actually better defensively than a lot of these fighters that get credited for being good defensive fighters. The first thing Ox said was people are saying that Tank got hit a lot in the Hector Garcia fight. Well, let's look at the numbers from the Hector Garcia fight. As you can see here, if you look at the very bottom row, it says final punch stat report. And in that first little column there on the far left, that's the total amount of punches landed and the percentage they were landed at. And as you can see, Hector Garcia only landed 55 punches. And they went 8 rounds. He landed 55 punches out of 345. For let's round up to 16%. I don't know about y'all, but that's not getting hit a lot to me. But hey, maybe y'all say Hector Garcia was going to start warming up and landing more punches, and he only landed that amount of punches because the fight only went 8 rounds. Well, let's compare 12-round fights. Let's compare Gervonta Davis versus Yusaf Gamboa and Devin Haney versus Yusaf Gamboa. So these are the punch stats for Gervonta Davis and Gamboa. And again, let's look at the very bottom row, the final punch report, in the left column where it says total punches. And as we see, Yusaf Gamboa only landed 78 out of 617 punches for 13%. Is that getting hit a lot? That shit, it don't seem like it to me. But let's compare that to Devin Haney. As you can see at the bottom row, the final punch stat report in the far left, again, you see that Yusaf Gamboa threw 12 rounds with Devin Haney, landed 84 punches out of 472. More punches than he landed against Gervonta Davis, and at a higher percentage, 17.8. Let's round that up to 18%. So 5 more percentage points as well. And remember, this is the fight where people were so flabbergasted that Devin looked so bad that they were coming out with excuses talking about Gamboa wasn't in there to fight. He was just trying to run and survive. Well, if he was surviving against Devin Haney, how did he land more punches on Devin Haney than he did against Gervonta Davis? Make it make sense, bro. But hey, maybe that's still not enough proof for y'all. Let's look at this graph that I posted a couple weeks ago. Because I posted a poll asking who y'all thought was the best defensive fighters in the division out of Tank, Shakur, and Devin. In my opinion, it's Shakur. I don't even think that's debatable. But between Devin and Tank, I wanted to see what y'all answer was. Because I've been looking at the numbers. And the numbers say that Tank is a better defensive fighter than Devin Haney. But I posted this graph where I showed Tank's last 3 opponents and Devin's last 3 opponents and their punch count and what percentage they landed the punches at. And as you can see, Tank got hit less in 2 out of the 3. And the one that he did get hit more in, it did go 12 rounds. So that would be y'all excuse. Well, he only went 8 rounds to 6 rounds in those other 2. Well, look at the percentages as well. Hector Garcia only landed 15.9%. Rolly Romero only landed 19%. Meanwhile, Cambosis landed 25%. Jojo Diaz landed 24%. The highest percentage Tank got hit at was 22%. And the lowest for Devin was 18.7. We can round that up to 19%. So by those numbers, it looks like Tank is the better defensive fighter, at least over the last 3 opponents, than Devin Haney.
Be a pay-per-view superstar and to stay on the right course. And once you become a pay-per-view superstar, all them dudes is gonna be standing in line with their hands out like this. So that's how I look at it. The same thing like with Tank. You know, Tank feel like people just want to fight him. Like it's different for me. Like in my situation when it comes to him, I just feel like he the best and I want to fight the best. But a lot of people just want to fight him just to
get that check.
Yeah, you know, get that big check and payday. But that shit don't last. That don't last that long. Like, you know, what?
Shakur just addressed another one of y'all internet narratives right there. You know, because Shakur, all these guys turning down fights from Shakur. They don't want to fight Shakur. And they use that, all the hating niggas use that against Tank to say, look at Shakur. Nobody want to fight Shakur. Everybody want to fight Tank because they know they can beat him. No, that's not it. It's what Shakur just said. They want to fight Tank because even though they know they're going to get their ass whooped, they know they're going to get a big-ass check and they're going to get eyes on them and some notoriety. That's what it is. You just heard Shakur say that. And in that same part of the interview, Shakur also said, once I make myself a pay-per-view star, I won't have these problems of getting fights because guys going to want to fight me like Tank because they going to want to get paid and they going to want that notoriety. Also, you heard him say that Tank is the best. This Shakur saying it. That ain't me saying it. Y'all know I already think that. Y'all know I'm not one of them dudes that come to y'all and say, I'm a fan of the sport. I'm not a fan of a fighter. I'm a fan of a lot of fighters. Gervonta Davis, number 1. Shakur Stevenson, my number 2. And then I like a lot of fighters from there also. But as you hear, Shakur says Tank is the best. And he wants to fight the best. And he backed that up when they asked him if he could get the 3 fights he wanted this year, what order he would want them in.
Forget about managers, nothing. If you could pick 3 guys that you want to fight in a certain order, who would they be?
Lomachenko, Devin, and then Tank.
He put Tank last because he know Tank is the best. And Shakur smart. He know that's going to be the biggest fight number-wise if it happens in that order too. Because Shakur just sold out 10,000 his last fight. And I think I heard him say a couple days ago, I forget what interview it was, that he's going back to Jersey to fight again. So he's probably about to sell out 10,000 again. Shakur doing his thing. But to be honest, I don't see it happening in that order. I think Tank and Shakur are going to end up fighting before Devin fights either of them. He not trying to fight either of them for real. You know, he about to move to 140. If Tank's in the contract, tell him to come down like Ryan, he's not going to accept it. Or they going to be asking for more money, which they know they don't bring money to the table because Devin can't sell out. He don't produce no tickets. So he's going to price himself out or he's not going to fight at the weight that Tank and them want to fight at, knowing Tank is the A-side. Shakur is going to be there. Shakur going to accept whatever it is. Shakur try and fight for real. And Tank, you better watch out, bro, because Shakur, the way he talking, he trying to whoop your ass. I see it all in his face when he talking. You played him, you told him he a dick eater on the internet in front of the world. He try to whoop your ass, bro, so you better be on your game. But that's what I got for y'all. I'm out.